12:18 a.m. Purple vacancy in the puddles. Jukebox glowed through the diner glass. My whole mind already floating.
Flow with me, slow, slow. Under that violet afterglow. Flow with me, slow, slow. Where the baseline make the night move slow.
Parking lot shining like candy paint rain. Chrome on the bumper, smoke in the lane. Coffee steam ghosting from the takeout cup. Purple sign dripping, never letting up. I'm in that dream where the minutes been, where the back seat dark feels soft as sin, where the booth light from inside spill out, and a whole lot of hush when the subs roll out. I see white walls cut through the wet black gloss. I see your shape where the tail lights cross. I feel that craving in the syrup loop, in the glass, in the ash, in the roof of the coupe. Every little thing got a late night halo. Straw wrapper gold in the dashboard shadow. The diner clock don't mean a thing out here. Time gets slow when the haze get near. Flow with me, slow, slow. Under that violet afterglow. Flow with me, slow, slow. Where the baseline make the night move slow. Dream keeps circling the same sweet frame. Purple on chrome like a whispered name. Motor hum under the neon rain. Warm my chest like a velvet chain. I catch reflections in the side door trim. My whole cool gone, but the lights stay dim. French fries cooling on a paper tray. Moon in the windshield trying to fade away. Still I drift in that after hour spell. Half motel, heaven, half asphalt hell. But the smoke make mercy, the smoke make room. The smoke lays silk through the whole cocoon. I hear the tires in my memory glide. I hear the low and hold my pulse inside. And every breath got that same warm make. Like the night itself don't wanna let me wait.
Flow with me, slow, slow. Under that violet afterglow. Flow with me, slow, slow. Where the baseline make the night move slow. Flow with me, slow, slow. Under that violet afterglow. Flow with me, slow, slow. Where the baseline make the night move slow.
Then dawn slips gray through the diner blinds. Purple gets thin on the parking lines. The sign lose fire, the dream lose
like night got caught and broken too.
Memory hit all at once. The roll-up door half raised to the night. The silver gleam running down the fender. The red tool chest catching a weak lamp. The floor shining black with oil and rinsed water. And your outline breaking into pieces in the chrome like the whole shop had learned how to keep a secret. The morning found me carrying that room inside my chest. That after hours auto shop with its quiet machinery, its polished quarter panels, its hanging cords and shadow lifts, its low lamps to your lamps turning every surface tender and expensive, as if steel itself had spent the night learning the language of longing and had not yet forgotten it by dawn. I remember the bay air warm with smoke and engine heat, the workbench dim under scattered sockets, the hood left open like an unfinished confession, the reflections doubling your shape until I could not tell where the chrome ended and the warning began. And every small sound, cool and metal, a soft heel on concrete, the hush under the bass, felt slowed down and lacquered over with that dreamy sadness that arrives only after the best part has already happened. There was a melancholy to the glamour of it, a sweetness in the emptiness, a rich low ache in watching the shop become softer than it had any right to be. With the dark outside just beyond the open bay and the glow inside making everything look hell for one more minute than the world could really spare. Time went blurry in the chrome that night, slow on your hands, slow on the light. I keep replaying that silver slide where the hour lost shape and would not decide. Time went blurry in the chrome that night, slow on your hands, slow on the light. I keep replaying that silver slide where the hour lost shape and would not decide. What stays with me is not any single thing, but the way the whole room moved like one long thought. The lift chains hanging still while the sub rolled under the floor, the black coupe on the rack breathing back the glow. The mirror shine of the wheel lip turning your wrist into a ribbon of light, then turning it away, then giving it back softer, more distant, more impossible to leave alone. I remember how the smoke floated through the work bays and made the fluorescent edge of every tool look velvety. How the gleam on the chrome made the darkness richer instead of colder. How the place felt less like a garage and more like a private fever dream where luxury had put on coveralls and leaned against the work table just to watch us lose track of time. And all the while that blurred time obsession kept tightening around me, not harshly, not like panic, but like a slow polished chain, like the kind of fixation that turns reflections into memories before they have even finished happening. That makes the whole next morning feel like a room you have not truly walked into because you are still somewhere under those lights, still somewhere inside that silver afterglow. Time went blurry in the chrome that night, slow on your hands, slow on the light. I keep replaying that silver slide where the hour lost shape and would not decide. Door open, engine heat fading, smoke still writing, chrome still waiting, bass still low, in the frame of the dark, and every little gleam in the shop still pulling at the same part of my heart. Time went blurry in the chrome at night, slow on your hands, slow on the light. I Then the memory narrows to the smallest motion, to your fingers near mine with the whole shop breathing around us, to the weak light caught in the hood line, to the smoke thinning over the floor, to that final touch that never fully became a whole, because in the last silver second your hand met mine and then slipped away, leaving the chrome full of us and the morning full of nothing. Already rolling past the liquor glow. Already got smoke turning blue in the cabin. Already got palm shadow skating over the hood. Already got the bass under the seat telling the whole car how to breathe. I remember that boulevard like a warm film left, playing after the screen went dark. All black pavement and gold spill. All midnight haze softening the lane lines while the city kept its distance and the palms leaned down like old friends who knew too much. The tires barely whispered, the engine stayed gentleman low, and the whole ride with that polished kind of loneliness that only shows up after midnight. When the chrome starts catching more memory than light in every store from reflection looks like somebody you almost knew. There was smoke in the suede, smoke in the dash glow, smoke curling slow enough to make the air feel expensive. Somewhere in that ribbon hush, I can still feel the body heat left in the seat beside me. The kind that doesn't leave when the person does. The kind that turn a simple drive into a private religion. That's why I keep coming back to it. Not for the road, for the way the road held us, for the way the low end pressed up through the leather and made every breath heavier, every glance slower, every second richer than it had any right to be.
Body on the page, racing the blood. Night ride slow, like a velvet flood. Body on the page, lights drift past. I still feel that touch when the sub hits back.
The whole scene got softer the farther we rolled. Boulevard lights stretching long across the doors. Little red signs melting in the side glass. Warm air slipping in through the crack like it had nowhere better to go. And I was deep in it at the glow state where smoke and nostalgia start sharing the same mouth. I could see the city far off in little glitter cuts, but the real world was inside the cabin. The ring on the cup holder, the faint scent card in the headrest, the blue dashboard wash on my wrist, the pulse in my chest keeping time with the speakers like the music knew the exact shape of what I missed. Nothing had to be loud, that was the luxury, the one to stay smooth, the ache stayed tailored, even the emptiness came dressed right, sitting low on the passenger side, looking good enough to almost mistake for company. And every time the bass rolled through the floor again, it brought the memory back physical, back close, back warm, like the body remembers what the mind only knows in fragments.
Body on the base, racing the blood. Night ride slow, like a velvet flood. Body on the base, lights drift past. I still feel that touch when the sub hits back.
By the end of that drive, the haze had turned the whole boulevard into a ribbon of dark silk. The palms had gone soft at the edges, and the skyline ahead started washing thin, losing its sharpness, one gold fleck at a time, until it looked less like a city and more like the last thought before sleep. I remember the smoke, still hanging in the cabin after the music dipped. The chrome still carrying little ghosts of passing light. The bass still breathing under everything, even when the block grew quiet. And that's how the night stayed with me. Now there's a place, now there's a face, but as a low warm pressure in the chest, while the skyline slowly washed itself away. You hear that crackle first,
That needle drop. That low bass roll under the floorboards. That smoke ring breaking slow and the lamp glow. Yeah, that's where I'm calling from. If you hear this in the neon haze, on my heart still drift your way. Blue smoke curl, red lamp sway. I'm still yours in that vinyl play. Yeah, I'm leaving this low and easy from the back booth shadow. From the underground room where the record spin slow, and the gold on the bottles look warmer than truth. Where the flow hum ride through the souls in the booth, hold heat like it don't ever wanna let the night go. I got your scent still called in the velvet. Still got your outline moving through the smoke, a little soft flashes. Still got that tender kind of midnight sitting on my chest. And every time the needle slide I hear your name without nobody saying it. The whole bar lean like a low rider in slow motion. All blue haze, all red lamp, all chrome trim on the bar, catching little pieces of the dark. And I keep talking into this message like maybe the room gon' carry it to you just and I can. Ain't no crowd in my mind now, just a sub in the ribs, the glass in my hand. The smoke rings climbing up and disappearing like they know something I don't. If you hear this in the neon haze, know my heart still drift your way. Blue smoke curl, red lamp sway. I'm still yours in that vinyl play. Yeah, you remember how that basement air moved? Slow over the leather, slow over your wrist, slow over the turntable while the whole room just itself an expensive loneliness. That's where I'm at right now. Same soft booth, same sweet burn in the lungs, same late hour shine on the wood grain, same record side running like a black ribbon through the speakers. I keep watching the smoke right over everything, over the lamp, over the tray, over the little empty space where you were leaning, and make the memory feel richer, make the ache feel cleaner, make the whole bar feel like a prayer with bass under it. I ain't saying this loud, I ain't saying this desperate, I'm saying it how the room taught me. Cool voice, heavy pulse, real slow like a ride home I don't wanna take yet. If you play this back tomorrow, you'll hear the tenderness in it. That little break in the smooth, that part where I almost stopped talking, just to breathe the same smoke we left hanging there. If you hear this in the neon haze, know my heart still drift your way. Blue smoke curl, red lamp sway. I'm still yours in that vinyl play. If you hear this in the neon haze, know my heart still drift your way. Blue smoke curl, red lamp sway. I'm still yours in that vinyl play. Now the record run lower, the bar lights sink softer, the booth still warm, the glass still sweat. And even with my voice cut off, smoke keep talking for me. Still talking, still talking. Wipers half asleep, ocean on the left, dash throwing blue across the cabin. We were already deep in the highway when the night decided to keep us. Morning came late, but my head was still out there on that coastal ribbon where the guardrail kept flashing silver, where the black water moved beside us like a secret too expensive to explain. Where the smoke lifted off my sleeve and turned the whole windshield into a slow private screen. I remember the cabin warm, too warm, leather still carrying the shape the hour, your perfume leaning into recycled air, the sub and the doors running low enough to feel like another pulse under mine. And every passing light made the chrome speak for a second and vanish. That's what stayed.
Not one clean scene, but a soft parade of them. Moon on the side mirror, red tail lights thinning ahead, palm shadows cutting across the hood. Your outline in the window reflection, my hand loose on the wheel. Like I trusted the road more than I trusted sleep. It wasn't loud, that's why it hurt so good. The whole drive moved with velvet discipline, with that smoky kind of nostalgia that makes a man miss something while he's still inside it.
Coastline drift, moon in the haze, low tide singing through the blue black waves, smoke on the dash, night rolling down. I'm still in that highway crash. Moon in the haze, low tide singing through the blue black waves, smoke on the dash, night rolling by. I'm still in that highway glide.
I keep replaying the shorter moments and the longer feelings. The way the cabin smelled like warm skin, engine heat and sweet smoke. The way the ocean kept showing up between dark cliffs and disappearing again like it knew better than to interrupt us for too long. One memory hits quick, a shoulder lit by the gauge is gone. Another stage, the whole road unwinding under us, endless and rich, while the city behind us dissolved in a pinprick. Jewelry in the world ahead kept opening wider. That was the luxury, not champagne, not penthouses, just clean chrome, deep bass, a coastal night too soft to fight back against. And that dreamlike silence between one turn and the next, where everything felt held together by the hum of the tires. I woke up with that hum still inside me, still there, still dragging salt air through the chest, still making the morning feel thinner, and it should.
Coastline drift, on the haze, moon in the haze, low tide singing through the blue black waves, smoke on the dash, night rolling down. Still in that highway glare. Coastline drift, night in the haze, moon in the haze, low tide singing through the blue black waves, smoke on the dash, night rolling down. I'm still in that highway glide.
And when I reach for the last of it, the memory doesn't end with the road, it ends with the smoke. Cause the road can disappear, the lights can flatten, the ocean can go back to being only water. But the smoke keeps speaking after the drive is done, keeps hanging in the jacket and the seat seam, in a little pocket of air behind the throat. It says the guardrail was silver, it says the moon stayed close, it says the cabin was warmer than the truth, it says the coast never really let us leave. Even now, with daylight thinning everything out, I can still hear the tires under the dark, still feel a sub under the leather, still catch that faint sweet trace rising from nowhere. And the smoke keeps speaking until the whole memory starts breathing again.
Flow me back down that coastline low, slow tide, low ride, don't let go. Your heat in the smoke, still moving slow. I'm still in that night like I never left home.
Smoke came first, long before the memory got honest, filling the cabin in soft gray ribbons, while the highway unspooled beside the ocean, and the guardrail kept catching silver from the moon like it was built to hold dangerous thoughts in place. And I remember how the bass sat low in the doors, how the leather held warmth, how the dashboard poured blue over my hand, while your perfume kept leaning through the haze and turning every mile into something slower than time. It wasn't a loud kind of wanting, it was polished, expensive, patient, the kind that rides in the chest with a calm face and lets the night do all the talking. talking. The kind that makes the dark outside feel intimate in the inside of the car, feel almost sacred with the tire hum right in a steady line under us. And the ocean air slipping in through the crack in the window, just enough to make the smoke move like it had its own pulse. I remember your silhouette in pieces, shoulder first and hair lit by passing signs. Then your knee in the soft spill of the console glow. Then your mouth half open in the reflection when the road curved and the whole coast bent with us. And every little detail stayed with me after, not as a scene but as a luxury ache. A smooth after hours fever I can still wear like a ring under my jacket.
Flow me back down that coastline, flow. Slow tide, low ride, don't let go. Your heat in the smoke, still moving slow. I'm still in that night like I never left home.
Now I replay it from the afterglow, from the clean, lonely place that comes after the engine cools and the city wakes and the body pretends it moved on. But the truth is that whole drive still lives in me, still runs the coastline over again in one long velvet rear with a chrome on the mirror flashes. The boulevard lights thin out, the black water stays just off to the side like a promise with no need to speak. And the smoke keeps carrying the shape of what I wanted without ever giving it a name. That's the thing about haze-soaked desire. It doesn't leave clean, it settles into the details and keeps them breathing. In the low pressure of the sub under my ribs, in the memory of your hand near the shifter, in the way one passing glance can turn the whole Pacific in the background and make a single second inside a moving car feel richer than a mansion, softer than a bed, heavier than a confession. I can still feel the confidence of that night, the way I let the road glide under me like silk, the way I let the smoke build a room around us, the way the coast stayed endless and closed at the same time. And even now when I think I've reached the end of it, the same warmth comes back through the speakers, the same midnight tenderness, the same slow flow pull telling me the drive never really ended, it only changed form.
Flow me back down that coastline, flow. Slow tide, low ride, don't let go. Your heat in the smoke, still moving slow. I'm still in that night like I never left home.
And when the highway fades and the glass goes dark and the ocean turns into nothing but a line I can't separate from the sky, the smoke still keeps the last word, still curling through the remembered cabin, still speaking in that low sweet language that says the coast is gone but the night is not. The drive is over but the haze is still here, and it keeps speaking, keeps speaking, keeps speaking.
Fall through the window sill. Moonlight wet on the guardrail, and the whole coast breathing like velvet. Soft blur, slow nerve, coastline bending where your perfume curves. Soft blur, time slide. I keep drifting in the hush you left inside.
Nowhere and everywhere on that highway, floating between black water and chrome rails, between dashboard blue and a long silver wound of the moon on the ocean. And the whole ride felt drugged with softness, not reckless, not loud, just seduction with his pulse lowered and his cuffs pressed clean. The cabin carried heat like a secret, not fire, more like skin. skin, remembering its own weather. More like smoke circling the rear view and making every thought arrive late and dress better than it should, while the bass kept moving under the seats in slow luxurious waves, turning the car into a private tide and my body into something to answer without speaking. I could feel the night lose shape around me, all palm shadows, all lane lines melting, all distant motel lights smudging into gold. And somewhere inside that dreamy wash of motion, there was a trace of you, never fully seen, never fully gone. Just that dangerous kind of memory that perfumes the air and then lets the air do the rest.
Soft blur, slow nerve, coastline bending where your perfume curves. Soft blur, time slides. I keep drifting in the hush you left inside.
The road kept unwinding like a silk ribbon dropped from a dark balcony. And I stayed inside the curve of it, calm in the hands, calm in the jaw, while the mind slipped deeper into that narcotic half place where one does not shout, it reclines, it glows, it waits with one ankle crossed and one eye half open. Everything looked different after hours polished, the side mirror carrying a faint ghost of my face, the leather holding warmth longer than it should, the little red pulse of the stereo cutting through the blue instrument light, the ocean off to the left like a black jewel breathing under glass. And the obsession was not with the moment, not exactly, but with the way time behaved around that scent. The way one note of it on my jacket made the miles loop back on themselves, made the night feel folded, doubled, blurred at the edges, as if the highway were trying to keep me in the same beautiful second, long after the second had passed.
Soft blur, slow nerve, coastline bending where your perfume curves. Soft blur, time slides. I keep drifting in the hush you left inside her.
By the time the city fell behind and the coast turned darker, the smoke had thinned and the ocean had gone quiet under the moon. But the cabin still held the last trace of you. Not in the seat, not in the mirror, not in the road, only in the scent that stayed after the night had loosened its grip. The scent that clung to the collar and the leather and the little pocket of air around my throat, while the engine kept rolling on into the dark.
Party in the backseat, purple on your skin, smoke on my sleeve, bass under everything. Stay that close, don't say a thing. The diner sign shakes and the low end clings. Already in the backseat before the thought got clean, before the coffee steam from the diner windows curled into the lot, before the chrome on the door handle caught that bruised violet light, and turned the whole park coupe into a little moving dream that forgot how to move. Your shoulder was warm in the half dark, your perfume was slow in the fabric. My hand was still, but the pulse under it wasn't. And the speakers kept breathing through the floor like they knew exactly how to make desire sound softer than truth. Outside, the retro sign hummed over wet asphalt, purple halos trembling in puddles. A jukebox leaking from the diner wall in tiny ghost notes. And inside the cabin, all that mattered was smoke and skin in a delicate way. Late night sadness can wear luxury so well. I remember the curve of your wrist and a dashboard glow, the faint shine on your lip when the neon slipped through the glass. The whole lot empty except for us and the ache of staying too long. And I kept talking low from that backseat place in me.
That place where confidence goes, silky and melancholy gets expensive. Already in the backseat, purple on your skin, smoke on my sleeve, bass under everything. Stay that close, don't say a thing. The diner sign shakes and the low end clings. The night kept widening without changing shape. All diner glass and parking stripes and long soft reflections on the hood. All that purple spill making your profile look half real, half remembered. Like I was confessing to somebody I'd already lost while they were still right there warming the leather. That's the sweetness in it. That's the damage too. The smoke moved between us like it had manners. Touching the air first, then the throat, then the thought. And every time the bass rolled back through the seat, I felt the body answer before the mind could act cool. You never had to lean much, you never had to say much. The intimacy stayed in the inches and the heat trapped near the window. In the little after hour silence that kept dressing itself in chrome and violet. I let the moment drag slow like a silk chain over skin. Let the diner lot become our private weather. Let the purple sign flicker against your collarbone until even the loneliness felt beautiful enough to keep. By then I knew I wasn't riding out the night. I was sinking into it, deeper with every breath, deeper with every soft low note, deeper with every smoky trace your body left in the dark. Already in the backseat, purple on your skin, smoke on my sleeve, bass under everything. Stay that close, don't say a thing. The diner sign shakes and the low end clings. Then the windows got darker, the coffee glow went thin. The purple sign kept buzzing over the empty lot, and your warmth stayed in the seat a second longer than your shadow did. I sat there with the engine off, the smoke still drifting in little silver loops, the chrome still holding the last pieces of night. And somewhere under the silence, the bass was still breathing.
See warm wind on the terrace rail, mist on the stone, moon on the water. Blue night breathing through the villa doors, everything damp with salt, everything slow with smoke. I'm in that oceanfront villa hour, that 2 a.m. hour, that glass and tide hour, that silk dark hour where the room keep looping. Lamp glow on the marble, smoke on the ceiling, pool light shifting through the hallway, whole house floating like it lost its weight. I let the haze right over the chest, let the bass move low through the flow, let the ocean talk in hushes under the bluff. Heat in me, quiet in me, same body, same pulse, but the fire dressed expensive. The fire sitting still, the fire watching its own reflection in the black glass and not making a scene. Heat stay hidden, heat stay smooth, gold in the lungs, blue in the room. No fast hands, no wild eyes, fire under silk, controlling the vibe. I keep circling the same sweet frame, same sea line, same white stone edge, same smoke turning soft around the doorway, same little ache wearing cologne, same little hunger wearing manners. Everything in loops, the amber, the bottle, the shadow on the chase, the long shine on the wrist, the breath in the mirror like panel. I feel desire like a low engine. Never loud, never begging, just running rich under the skin. Villa air warm, ocean air cooler, both of them crossing in the middle of me, and I keep drifting in that crossfade. Slow, soft, dangerous, only because it looks so calm. Heat stay hidden, heat stay smooth, gold in the lungs, blue in the room. No fast hands, no wild eyes, fire under silk and controlling the vibe. Now the whole night turns liquid, smoke in the stairwell, smoke by the piano, smoke lifting off the terrace furniture, moon pouring silver into the pool, pool giving it back to the walls, and me still inside the same stream. Thought on thought, haze on haze, salt on the lip of every second. I know this feeling, not chaos, not mercy, just that polished fever, the after hours discipline, where the body want more, but the mouth stay closed, where the chest run hot, but the hands stay slow, where every step through the villa sounds like a promise nobody had to say out loud. That's the luxury of it, the restraint, the velvet around the flame, the way the flame keeps burning anyway. Heat stay hidden, heat stay smooth, gold in the lungs, blue in the room. No fast hands, no wild eyes, fire under silk and controlling the vibe. Then the sea turns pale, the villa goes quiet, the smoke gets thin in the first week light, pool glow fades, glass loses the moon, bass gone from the floor, nothing left moving but the curtain edge and the salt air and the silence after.
The coupe is already moving when the memory opens. Headlights combing the guardrail. Ocean breathing black beside us. Smoke ribboning through the cabin while the dash paint your wrist in cobalt. And the whole highway feels like it has been waiting all night to keep our secret. Yeah. Morning found me late and still inside that drive. Still tasting salt on the window crack. Still feeling the leather warm where your thigh had turned the seat into a confession booth with no witnesses but bass and moonlight. The road kept curving slow along the water, palm silhouettes dropping in and out of glass. Little motels and fit ourselves dissolving behind us, and all I could think about was the way the night made your skin look almost unreal. Half lit by the instrument panel, half hidden by smoke, like desire itself had bottled the face and asked the dark to protect it. There was heat in that car, not loud, not reckless, just rich and close and patient. The kind that lives in a long exhale and perfume caught and swayed, and fingertips hovering one breath away from trouble while loneliness rode shotgun underneath it all. Polished and quiet, making every beautiful second feel already gone while it was still happening. Time kept blurring on your shoulder, on the glass on me. Slow as the coast, soft as the smoke, too deep to leave. I'm still circling that one late hour where the lights ran free. Yeah, I remember the road more by texture than distance. By the wet shine on the lane lines, the low hum under the doors, the way the ocean flashed silver, only when the moon found the right angle to touch it. Like the world was giving us just enough light to keep going in and not enough to find a clean way back. Your mouth moved once, maybe to say something, maybe only to breathe, and I still can't separate that from the way the sub rolled through the floor. Because everything in that hour had started fusing together. Smoke with salt, skin with shadow, confidence with ache, the feeling of wanting and the feeling of already missing it before it ended. That's what stayed with me in the morning. Not one line, not one touch, but the blur of all of it. How the miles looked expensive, how the silence looked intimate, how the cabin held us in a velvet little world while the rest of the coast looked away like it knew we could never compete. Time kept blurring on your shoulder, on the glass on me. Slow as the coast, soft as the smoke, too deep to leave. I'm still circling that one late hour where the lights ran free, and the whole night melted down to you beside me. By the end of the drive, the city was only a fog glitter in the mirror. A jeweled room was shrinking behind the haze, and the highway had become almost dreamlike. All smooth descent and ocean air, all dark, chrome and low impulse. All the things that make a man feel held and haunted at the same time. I can still see your reflection ghosting over the side window, double with the shoreline, double with the passing lamps, as if even the glass didn't want to let you be only one thing. And maybe that's why I keep replaying it now, because obsession likes a moving picture, like something they can never fully touch, like some memory of a night's softness, inviting enough distance to keep burning. So I woke up with that ride still living under my ribs, with the smoke still hanging in my jacket, with the heat still bright in the places your silence had reached, and the loneliness even brighter for having shared the role with something that good. Time kept blurring on your shoulder, on the glass on me. Slow as the coast, soft as the smoke, too deep to leave. I'm still circling that one late hour where the lights ran free, and the whole night melted down to you beside me. And the memory eases farther out. The highway opened, the water darkened, the cabin cooling by degrees, and the skyline we left behind washing thinner and thinner in the rear view until even the city turned to temple. The line that remains is the road, the smoke, and the shape of you fading where the light used to be.
Easy now. Coming to the low beam. Come where the wind goes soft on the hood. Come where the canyon keeps a secret. Engine hush. Smoke curl. Midnight holding still. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got the coupe angled at the rail where the cliff drop black, and the lights lay gold on the dust then slide right back, and the wind keep combing the ridge with a slow rich hand, while the whole wide valley below look lit on command. Smoke loop, bass loop, thought loop too. Everything circling what the body might do. Longing in the leather that you dance in the trim. Fine dark cologne in the cloth for the dim. No loud city near me, just stars and stone. Just the after hours luxury of being alone, but not empty. No. More like charge, more like heat with a tailored guard. More like a body once close, still living in the seat, still ghost in the air when the low wind beat. I keep feeling the line of a shoulder in the glow. Keep seeing skin in the dash like blue and low. Keep letting the smoke make halos out the shape. That memory keep pressing in the suede and tape. That's the rhythm tonight. That's the ride. Body in the bass and the bass inside. Yeah. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Go through the ribs where the dark lights glow. Wind on the chrome, let the whole thing roll. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Your body in the bass, let it move that deep. Rolled in the dust while the night don't sleep. One long pulse and the whole world fold. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Headlights watch the rock face cream them bronze. Like the canyon got silk in its ancient bones. And I stay with the loop, with the hush, with the weight. With that sweet little ruin that only comes late. Smoke rise, wind cut, smoke rise again. Desire got manners when it travel like this. I don't need noise when the body remember right. When the bass line turns, touching the middle of night. When the seat hold warmth like a secret kept rich. And the steering wheel cools while the nerves still twitch. That's body and bass. That private fuse, that slow clean ache with nothing to prove. No thriller in it, no heart nor a bite. Just a polished little hunger with expensive light. I let the chrome lip catch what the moon can spare. Let the open window silver up the air. Let the motor rattle soft as a breath in silk. Let the valley below go satin, go milk, go distant, go blur, go jewelry faint. While the smoke keep drawing your form and restrain every curve in the road that led up and still hum. And the whole overlook keep saying don't run. Dust on the tire, wind in the seam. Low beam prayer in the high cut dream. Chest full of bass, mind full of skin. Whole cliffside leaning where the night folds in. By the late part of it, the bottle went warm in the console tray. And the ridge line turned softer at the edge of the gray. I was deeper than memory, deeper than need. In that place where the good things blurring the greed. Not ugly greed, more velvet and gold. More wanting what lingers after the touch gets old. More wanting the afterglow shape of a frame. More wanting the body without saying the name. I kept the posture smooth, let the smoke do the talk. Let the sub keep brushing through the bones of the dark. That's confidence too, sitting still with the ache. Letting luxury hold with the daylight might break. No speech in the cabin, no witness outside. Just my own pulse gliding with the canyon tide. Just the wind on the quarter panel, cool and thin. Just the bass making room for the want within. And if I'm honest, that's the sweetest vice. One last night made endless by the headlights. One body replayed in the pressure and glow. One rich empty space with nowhere to go. So I keep the engine running, keep the beams cut wide. Keep the smoke in circles in the dark satisfied. Cause some feelings don't leave, they just settle in slow. Like dust on the chrome, like heat under snow. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Go through the ribs where the dark lights glow. Wind on the chrome, let the whole thing roll. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Your body in the bass, let it move that deep. Gold in the dust while the night don't sleep. One long pulse and the whole world fold. Your body in the bass, let it ride that slow. Then I took one last look past the hood and the rail. Past the lights in the valley going thin and pale. Past the smoke in the beam where you're out in that slave. Past the night on the chrome where the memory lay. Engine still low, wind still slow. My hand on the wheel, your shape in the glow. One last look. Then I let it go.